Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Life with Shenita. I am Shenita Connolly, and we are excited that you will be joining us this evening for a conversation with some amazing men who have their own clothing lines. I am excited to share what their gifts that each of them have with you all, and hope that you will not only learn about them, but that you will support their businesses. So, with that being said, I am excited that I have to join with me again King author Bowens this evening for another conversation on Life with Shenita. Well, for those Scorpios out there that are can't wait until this Libra season is over and we have one more day. So, hence is why I have on my tiara, because I'm still celebrating my life. I'm not sure about you, but this is how I do me. So, with that being said, happy birthday to all the Libras out there again. I hope that you are being the best that you can be. And for as long as you can be, because I'm going to be celebrating for 365 days for my 57th birthday. So, if you all would like and share this broadcast on social media, if you would like and share this broadcast so that others will have the opportunity to hear this amazing conversation. And we thank you in advance. Tonight's topic is the well-dressed man. And so I'm sure that you guys have men in your lives, whether it's your husband, your boo, your sons, your fathers, your uncles, or whomever. And everyone loves seeing a well-dressed, good-looking man. And I am so excited because I have with me this evening 3 good-looking, well-dressed men, to say the least. So I'm honored again to have with me King Author joining me on this platform. I couldn't think of anyone better to have this conversation as a co-host tonight, because he loves to dress and he does it well. And so I'm excited for him to meet Michael Snell and Vincent Fleming, because I know that he will enjoy their brands. So without further delay, I am going to bring in my co-host for this evening, King Author. Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you this evening?
I am so excited, even though I'm out of breath, but I'm so excited.
Well, I'm glad that you found your way to your home and to your seat and
Yes.
sacrifice. I'm just grateful. So as I said, I couldn't think of a better person to have this conversation with than you, because I know that you absolutely love to dress.
Yes. And actually for me, it stemmed from I grew up not having like dress clothes or being able to dress. Like a lot of us grew up poor. So what I wore Monday, I had to wear Tuesday. Then what I wore Wednesday, I had to wear Thursday, then Friday and Monday. So
Right.
when I got older, I got a little hip and said I can wear the pants that I wore Monday on Thursday with the shirt for the next day, just to try to mix and match. So I was like, whenever I get some money, I'm going to always have some transportation, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to be able to dress however I want to dress.
I mean, you are doing it. I tell you, you're doing it. I never forget when Winston passed, and I was going through his clothes that he had never worn, and I saw these nice socks, and I was like, "Oh, Author!"
Yes.
Well, I'm gifting these to, and so I know that you love to dress, and so
Yes, and I still have those socks. They're black and gray.
yes,
I still have those.
yes. So I'm excited. So thank you so much for joining me. So let's
Anytime.
talk about the well-dressed man.
Yes. So it's a rarity nowadays. I remember if you look at a lot of the older movies, especially the black exploitation type films, you'll see everybody was sharp, everybody was dressed up. Not anymore. So I just so happened to work at a job, even at the post office, where I could get away with a shirt and tie every day, maybe a polo, but I choose to wear a full suit. So rather than just being blue or black, that's kind of dull. So for example, I have on work clothes today. So you can see I have on like purple and all kinds of stuff going on. And I know this is crazy. This is how you know this is live. So so I got the pants on to match the vest. And I decided to throw on a splash of pink.
I love
And
it.
so since I know Michael and Vincent, they really dress. So this is my secret weapon. So I got a purple and gold. But this is the secret weapon. They can't see that. That's gonna be the secret. They can't see the secret weapon yet.
That's how you really wrap up your attire.
Yes, you got to do something.
Yeah.
And let's see, can you see these? Nope.
You're gonna have to lift that leg a little. Oh.
Well, I got it better. How about this? Who else would do this than King Arthur? So you just wear something different. You don't wear black or blue. You just go with like a burgundy.
Right.
Or a wine or whatever. They didn't teach us colors in Fulton County Public School. But other than that, now I have no shoes on.
So this show is right up your alley.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. So we are going to bring the gentlemen in and allow them to introduce themselves to the audience in whatever way and manner they would love to do so. So we're going to bring them in together.
Absolutely.
Good evening, gentlemen.
See, I knew it. I knew one of them would have on a hat. Didn't I tell you?
Yes, he's rocking it too.
Uh-oh. Let me get my head ready.
Yes, indeed. The well-dressed man. So,
yes.
First of all, gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening for this conversation about the well-dressed man and what you all offer to them to make sure that they are well-dressed.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. All the way from California and all the way from right here in the ATL.
Yeah, shouting.
Yes. So we're going to allow you all, Michael, if you'd like to start out and introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, no problem. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm assuming it's evening on the East Coast there. My name is Michael Snell, otherwise known as the Style Doctor. I help fix those who are broken when it comes to style. Small town boy, trying to do big things.
Whoop, whoop, my hometown. Let me say that.
Yes,
Pensacola.
As Roy Jones say, Pensacola in the house.
Pensacola in the house. That's right. That's right.
Junior.
Yes,
That's right.
Pensacola's in the house. Retired military guy, retired military officer, been around the world, seen a few things. My last duty assignment was in Korea. That's why I was able to transition things that are in my head, put it on paper, and make it come to life.
I love it.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm waiting to hear what Vincent has to say, what he's representing in Atlanta.
Awesome. So unmute yourself, Vincent. You gotta unmute yourself, Vincent. Unmute.
Already starting off on the wrong foot.
It's okay. Introduce yourself.
Vincent Fleming from the David R. Collection. 2 years in Atlanta by the way of New York City. And I'm excited to shake up the style game because, I've seen, traditional suits and ties, and we're going to take it a different way. We got a whole lot of different stuff going on. We got asymmetric. We got, just vests and pants. We got, trying to get the younger guys more into dressing up because a lot of the young guys are in jeans and t-shirts. So we're trying to bridge the gap between the younger guys and the older guys. And I definitely got some new things that's out there that's ready to come.
Awesome. And I appreciate the fact that you said 2 years in the ATL by way of New York. So tell us a little bit, gentlemen, about what intrigued you. Did it start as a young person? I know Michael said that, he was able to, in Korea, to put what he had in his head on paper. But where did it start for you all?
I can tell you, I'll just break the ice a little bit.
Okay.
So for me, I am a huge Black exploitation film guy. My most favorite film of all time is The Mac. And Superfly was probably a close second. So that was like, they never went anywhere. I don't think they had a pair of jeans on the set when you look at those movies. But coming up, especially early to mid 70s, that was the thing, was to dress. It wasn't just going to a club and throw on some jeans. The belt is down at your knees and you walking and you got to hold them up. That was not the case. These guys had on furs. They had the furry hats. Speaking of hats, just because Michael got one on, I had to reach deep in my bag of tricks. It's because I had my little purple and I got a little gold working. I just had to do that because Michael had his on. But that's where it all started for me, is because as I was telling Shenita, I grew up not having a lot of stuff. So I grew up poor, and I used to be like, man, one day I'm going to have that car. One day I'm going to be able to dress like that. So that's where it started for me. And it just stuck in my head. Something about, even at work, if you go to talk to a customer, a polo shirt versus a suit and tie speaks volumes. Mm-hmm. When you enter the room, it says, I'm taking charge. I know what's going on, and this is what we're going to do. So that's where it stemmed from for me, and that's why I keep it going even to work.
I love it. Michael, Vincent, wherever?
Well, for me, it similar to what King Arthur was saying, growing up in small town Pensacola, it wasn't a lot of money circulating within our community. My grandfather did the best he had with what he had. Mm-hmm. My grandfather was a brick mason. He was a Masonic man. I never saw my grandfather leave the house not prepared. If he was going to lay bricks, he wore his brick mason uniform. If he was going out of the house, he was dressed to the nines all the time. Mm-hmm. So that resonated in my head. So as I was growing up, I was looking through Esquire magazine. I'm dating myself. I was looking, and I looked through Jet magazine. Mm-hmm. Then you had Detail magazine. You had GQ. You had all these different type of magazines you're looking through. So what I did, of course, not being able to afford that, I would go to the thrift store. I would check out the thrift store. Of course, at that time I was about 145 pounds, 135 pounds, and I was wearing suits for men that were 200 plus pounds. Take them to the alteration shop. Internally, they were garbage, stitching everywhere inside. That lady, but she did what she had to do to make it fit me. But if you peel back the lining of the suit, you'd be like, "Wow, how is that hanging on?" But I did that because I didn't have the resources to provide for myself on how I wanted to dress. Mentally, I knew how I wanted to dress, but I didn't have the dollars and cents to add it up. Similar to King Arthur. So as I matriculated through my college days, landed my first job, in college, unfortunately, that purple and gold looks good on the wall back there, but I'm a red and white type of guy. So in the world of Kappa Alpha Psi, Phi Nu Pi, we had to dress. We had suit days. We had tie days. We had to our former business meetings. We had to come in dressed. So already coming from a somewhat of a style background, I had already had it in my head. So most people at my university was like, wow, man, you always dress. You always dress. I was robbing Peter to pay Paul, but I was always dressed. So moving on, and I know we on a tight time frame right now. But when I, as I went through life, got to career, having been a father of 2 girls, I said, my daughters are not going to date somebody with their pants on the ground, as my man once said. So what I did, I said, I want to create something here so my daughter has better options to choose from. So at that time, back in 2012, 2013, I created this group called Gentlemen versus Swag LLC. Currently, right now, there's about 28,000 people in that group, 29,000. Unfortunately, I'm exiling all the females because we men need to have our own platform to have men discussion. Sorry,
Right.
Shenita, nothing personal, but
I'm okay with it.
we men got to get back to the root of why we are men. So
Yes.
that's the purpose of it. So now, fast forward, I created my own clothing line, self-published 3 men style guide books. I've had my own brand now for like 6 or 7 years, strong, but I knew that there was something missing. So unlike most, and I'm not, no shots fired here. Unlike most, I use clothes as a vessel to create dialogue. I don't care if I sell a suit. I can care less if I sell a suit. What I want to do, I want to establish conversation between him and I on why is he, or why was he, or why is he currently dysfunctional when it comes as a man.
Right.
And I pass the mic to Vincent.
I love it. I love it. Up next, Vincent.
Like the gentleman said earlier, definitely come from humble beginnings, and wearing the same thing, going to church as a young man, and wanting to not have that only one suit. So when I got older, I ended up buying different suits. And my mom was a seamstress. So being that my mom was a seamstress, she sold for church people. She made the robes. She sold for weddings. And I sat there and watched her. We would get the opportunity to go to the pattern store with her, pick out what we wanted. She would go home and make it for us. Even for my graduation, she made my tuxedo. So watching her and seeing how everything was made, it put it into my mind, like, how could I, make that work? So definitely, eventually, I started my own clothing line, and I did one wedding last year in 2020, and this year I already have 2 weddings lined up. I got a big 20 groom, 20 bride wedding that we're going to be doing. I have a suit that I personally designed called the Colonel, and I believe this is one of the baddest things out right now. I want to see what reception I get from it. I'm gonna set up the photo shoot and see what reception we get from it. But definitely from humble beginnings. When you look good, you feel good. People treat you different. I wore a suit in the airport and I got bumped up to first class just because I had a suit on. So it's definitely how you dress makes you feel a whole lot better.
Yes, absolutely. Arthur, I know you can agree with both of them on that. It makes a statement, as you said earlier. When you walk into the room, into the boardroom, it means I have something to say.
Right.
And I need your attention.
I'm here.
Yes, I'm here. So
I had
love that.
a mentoring with our fraternity. We have a foundation where we mentor young men. So I had to run out today to try to get to the high school. They have a walkthrough for their football team, their games tomorrow. So me and a couple other fraternity brothers had an opportunity to speak to them. And I was worried. I was like, man, I ain't got time to put on my boots, my fatigues, my frat shirt, So I just went in there like this with my suit on, and I talked to them, and I was like, you know what? I left work to do this. Matter of fact, all of us left work. One of the guys had on his scrubs, and I texted him. He was in the room prepping a patient and said, hey, I need somebody to cover for me. So I had another guy had on a shirt and tie, but I think it drove the point home to them that it's that important for me to be here to pour into you young men that I left work, and all they were like is, "You work for the post office, and you got on a suit. You get to dress like that. What is your job?" And that opened up a whole nother conversation altogether that we weren't even expecting to have.
Like,
right, right.
And while we're talking about that, I have a question for the gentleman. What is, before your brand became your favorite brand, did you have a favorite brand? Michael?
I always like, all of the Gucci's, the Dolce & Gabbana, the YSL. But again, we couldn't afford all of that stuff, So if you were lucky enough to get a knockoff, you were cool, you know what I mean? But I definitely would like to make my brand, as well as any of the other brothers' brand, as a household name, because we need to support ourselves. And we are one of the main consumers of all these high-end brands.
Yes.
That part
right there.
That part.
So why not keep it in this community? Yes.
Well, it was like this. When I started doing my research about the men garment industry, I looked in this book, and you guys can jot this down. I looked in this book called IBIS. IBIS. Is free at your local.
Yes, I know about.
You know about it. And I was like, okay, well, as I'm writing my business plan, writing my all the all that stuff, I was like, I only want 1% of that market. I'm only asking for 1% of the market. A lot of people talk about, will say 1%. What's 1%? I said, well, you got to remember what he just said. From a consumer point of view, Black people as a whole are somewhat solely consumers. So when I started looking at that, I said, well, if I get 1% of 12 million or 12 billion or 12 trillion, I'm still okay. Because as a small brand, we can't compete with the Tom Fords. We can't compete with the Dolce & Gabbanas. We can't compete with Louis Vuitton because their pockets are deep.
Right.
So, to answer your question, all of those individuals that I just named and individuals that Vincent named, I looked up to all of those individuals, but they didn't do anything for me.
Right.
So what Vincent and I are trying to do, we're trying to do something for us, by us, FUBU, for us, by us.
That's right.
I love it.
That's right.
So now we can take that money and recirculate it within the community. I want to create my own Gentleman versus Swag academies for young men 8 to 16. So as the Kappas and the Qs and the Alphas and the Sigmas, we normally get the cream of the crop to go into our mentorship. Right. I want to go to the bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
Yes. And get those young men and build those young men up. But I need the resources to do it.
That's it.
That's right.
And this is definitely an avenue in which to generate the resources to be able to do that. So hats off to you and Arthur, for wanting to give back into that community. I know, Vincent, you give back in the community as well to incarcerated men. So I love the fact that you guys have a heart for the people. And this is a vehicle, is what I call it, in which to reach your desired audience and outcome. So with that being said, Arthur, you got a question for him?
Yes, let's see. I jotted down a few bullet points. Let's see. What celebrities do you think have the best sense of style and why?
Okay. I'm going to say this. And I may get some pushback on this. Steve Harvey.
Absolutely.
I was just going to go there.
Steve Harvey and those zoot suits that he used to wear. I thank God for his wife and his stylist. The Steve Harvey of today versus the Steve Harvey of yesterday are two different people.
Yes.
Right.
Now, Uncle Steve, he does wear some questionable stuff. Everybody was talking about the denim suit, and I put the same denim suit on, but mine was double-breasted. I said, Steve Harvey can do it, I can do it too. A lot of people talk about the all green suit he had, the green outfit.
Oh yes, yes.
I say, but you know what? The man did it well. His stylist is good.
Yeah.
He has a good stylist now. If he stays with that stylist that he has, my man right now, without a doubt, today is Steve Harvey.
I have to agree with you. Steve Harvey is killing the game right now. Like he said, he made a complete 360 from those big suits that he used to wear, and Marjorie got him all the way together. I mean, this guy, he's clean. His suits are fitted. You know, the color selection is great. Yeah, Steve Harvey is definitely killing the game right now.
I actually just shared something with him in his outfit about a week or so ago, and I totally agree with you guys. I remember do y'all remember when K&G used to carry Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey brand.
Yes, I still have one. I think the jacket come down to my knees, but I still.
As Michael said, the zoot suits.
Yes,
but that was what was in style back then, and it was really stylish, and he has evolved.
Guys are still stuck in that generation right now, and I can't knock them for that, you know, because they're doing what they feel is good for them. But the more fitted suit is in, you know, and I think a lot of people are pushing the slim fit suit, but there's a market for those big suits because they're still selling.
Yep.
Michael, you were going to share something?
I was just going to say, like, you know, one of the things I wanted to articulate here, there's a difference between style and fashion. What you were looking at, that was fashion because it came in and left. Your style is going to be your traditional 2-button, 3-button suits. They're going to last forever. So what I try to tell my consumers is don't waste your money on trends and fashion because you're going to go broke trying to keep up with the Joneses. Or the Conleys, or the McCants, or the Arthurs, or the Flemings. You're gonna go broke trying to keep up with them. But if you build your stable around traditional suits and accessorize it from that point on, living on a very shoestring budget, you're gonna be okay. That's what I wanted to add.
Because I look at some pictures of my dad way back in the day, and those suits are still around to. Oh, I'm like, wow, look at that. Look at my dad and his brothers. Yes, those suits still resonate today.
Yes.
So yeah, there is a difference between style and fashion.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty adamant about that because a lot of that gets mixed up in this industry. You know, the runway stuff with the guys with the bubbles all on their head and the bubble suits and all that stuff. That's fashion. And what Russell Westbrook is trying to do, that's fashion.
That's fashion.
That's not style.
And it does sell. We know that. But you know, the traditional does sell consistently too.
It sells, but again, it's like a bottomless pit. You're wasting your money because the next season is gonna be something else.
So with that being said, how do you guys define fashion? You've kind of alluded to it a little bit. Traditional. Go a little deeper for us in terms of speaking to the audience about defining fashion. What does that look like?
I'll give it to you like this. Fashion is faddish. Style is a stable.
I love it. All right, Vincent.
I think always stick with your traditional, your black, your blue, your brown suits. You know, your 3 buttons. But there's sometimes when you just want to step out and make that statement that he's talking about. So you might throw on a mauve color or fuchsia. You know, you might want to throw on something with the stripes shooting down the arm. You know, because you want to make that statement. And right now, like I said, since we are, you know, the #1 consumers of most of these brands, it seems like we have a lot of money that we can put into some of this. So some guys are going and spending $800 and $900 for suits. I've seen suits, you know, that went up to, you know, as well as $1,500. You know, and if you got it, we could definitely make something for you. We definitely can get you all the way together.
Now, one thing I know about you, Vincent, you love a little flair. And I've seen you with the fur on the collar. of a
last
suit?
5 years. It's really taken off within the last 3 years, where you can put a fox on a nice wool coat and kill it. You don't have to have the full entire fur, but if you just got the fur collar on a nice coat, oh my God, it really, I got a premium one coming out with a nice black fox fur.
I love it.
But see, what Vincent is saying right now, all you have to do is add that fur to a traditional coat. Instead of going out there buying a coat, you just repurposing what you already have.
Yes, I must agree.
Yes,
accessorizing, as you said.
Accessorizing.
I love it. So we're speaking to somebody out there that's thinking about their wardrobe, some man or some woman that's thinking about revamping their husband's wardrobe. What would you all say to them in terms of, my husband is a little, old fashioned, or he won't consider something different? What would you suggest to a woman or a man who is thinking about stepping their game up?
I would say this: you constantly have to date your wife. Females are visual. If you flip up the game, change your style, mentally she's gonna think she's dating someone else. That would be the first step. The second step would say, like Vincent was saying, stay with your traditional colors, your black, your browns, your Glen plaids. You can throw in a pinstripe or pencil stripe here and there, but build that foundation. But build a foundation around those key things, and then come in with the accessories, the lapel pins, the pocket squares, the fattish socks. Do all that stuff to put a little pizzazz on it. A shirt will wake up your outfit if you know how to do it right. But then you want to stay within the 2 to 3 pattern world. So you can mix and match patterns, but you don't want to do more than 3 different patterns. Is what I was taught. 2 is probably about the most. 3, you're pushing the envelope. But I've seen guys go out there with 4 or 5 different patterns on, and sometimes it doesn't look too good. I would put it nicely. It doesn't look good.
It's like they fighting with each other. You got too much going on.
It's a collage. Your eyes are like,
what's that? What statement are you trying to make?
Right.
First thing I would say, get you a good tailor. Get you a good tailor.
Yes.
You get you a good tailor, you can take an old suit and make it look like new money. Trust me. I've done it before. You can take an old suit, let the tailor chop it up, have that thing looking like a Marc Jacobs, because it's all about the fit. If it fits you right, you can't help but get compliments on that thing. So I would say, first thing, before you go and spend all your money, go and get you a good tailor first.
And like Vincent is saying, the fit of the suit makes a difference. I can go into a room and I can tell who has an off-the-rack suit, who has a custom suit.
Yep.
I can walk into a room and see. Because even though you may take an old suit, but the key word he said there was a good tailor.
Right.
A good tailor. Because if you start messing around with stripes and plaids and they don't know how to line them up in the back like this, I'm like, hey, you're telling passes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great advice. A great tailor. Continue to date your wife.
Hello?
And dress up.
Right.
Dress up.
Did we lose them?
Nope. We're still here. Can you hear us?
I'm here. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So I was just repeating what you guys said. Have a great tailor and continue to date your wife and dress up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Always good grooming always comes in handy. Nice, well groomed. Some good cologne. You can't go wrong.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And I've been searching my phone like crazy to find out, because I remember there was an Instagram post that T.I. made last year. When we were having this big thing with Gucci and all of this other stuff, and wear it and don't wear it. But he said, we have all people of color That's African American, Native Americans, Asians, whoever. We have $3.9 trillion in economic spending power just in that industry alone. That's if we all came together. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow, but we put a lot of these designers on the map. You know, whether it's celebrities, athletes, boxers, whomever. Or just by simply wearing their stuff and making it look good. All of a sudden, it catches the eye of something else. They take it and run with it, and they're steady making money off of us instead of us, like you guys are doing, putting into our own community and getting us on track and getting traction within the brown community, Black and brown community, so that we can support each other.
Yes, and that's why I wanted to share what they do, because I think it's important for people to know. You know how much of a networker I am, author.
Right.
And connecting the dots and sharing resources with others, because it makes no sense if I don't share what someone else is doing. Like, why wouldn't I share it?
Right.
Yeah. Right. So it's just like this broadcast. I would like people to like and share it tonight. Right. Because this information is valuable. I think every show is valuable, and I think we should be willing to share for that reason, if nothing else. You may not be able to use it, but somebody you know may be.
Right. I was about to say that same thing. It may not be good for you. It may not be information you need right now, but you have no idea how many people you can impact just by sharing it, because it may be something that they're curious about that it just hadn't made it on your radar yet.
Exactly. And Vincent, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's very important that we share, like and share,
still can't hear.
Support each other. It doesn't cost anything to like and share a post. So I think it's very important that if you have anyone that's saying that they're a friend of yours or they're a supporter of yours, they can't like or share your content, then exit stage left. Mm-hmm. I think it's very, very important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, I know Michael is having a challenge hearing us. So hopefully, he'll be able to hear soon, go out and come back in. But right. for you, Vincent, I know, Arthur, you had another question for him.
Right. Where do you see yourself? This is, what are we now? 2021? Mm-hmm. Where I don't know if we're out of COVID, in COVID. I don't know. We're like up and down like a roller coaster.
I know.
But where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
As a household name, like I said, we got some really, really good ideas that we're going to push out this coming spring collection. I think it's some of the hottest stuff that's out here now. The accessories is crazy. We got, a lot of good accessories that I think will change up your look. I got some armbands. I got, some stylish suspenders. I got a lot of stuff that I think that will really pop. So in the next 5 years, we want to make this collection, a household name.
Awesome. Michael, that question for you as well. Where do you see yourself, author, in
the next 5 to 10 years from now?
Okay, great question. I see, similar to what Vincent said, a household name brand that people have known for a while. I see myself in the next 5 to 10 years. I also see me handing over this to someone else, because I'll be 61 when I retire again. So I got 7 more years before I'm working on my second retirement. And I refuse to be out here hustling, bustling like I am right now, trying to build a brand. It's not that I think it's beneath me. After serving in the military for 20-some plus years, working for the government for another 10 years, I need to enjoy life. And I'm just being honest with you. So what I would like to do is to pass this off to one of my daughters, have them run that. Then therefore I could focus more on the mentorship. I can focus more on like helping people learn how to build businesses, develop business plans, develop their websites, seek grant writing, to help them feed what it is they're trying to do. I would rather be in that mindset than here focusing on putting men in clothes. Although I'm gonna always dress, but that probably won't be my priority within the next 5 to 10 years.
I love it. And you did say retire.
Again,
right?
Retire for
Again.
the second time. Yes.
That's and you don't want to be hustling, bustling like that at 61.
I do not, I can't speak for Vincent, but creating a clothing brand or creating a business, particular clothing brand, is hard. It is very hard. And some of the people that like to dress, the first thing they want to do is come to you, ask you for advice, and then go to Joseph X. Banks or Men Warehouse or Lane Brand or Stewart's and get it from there instead of coming to you.
Right.
That demoralized me for a while there. But I had to take a step back and say, you know what? We've only been removed from slavery for 70 years, so why should I be expecting anything different?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's that mentality, though. That's the same mentality. I used to. I've had 1,000 jobs, but I used to sell life insurance, and I would be suited and booted, trying to show people how they can invest their money, or don't go by this type of policy. It's not beneficial to you. And I can have all of the stats. I can have my little portfolio, flipping through everything, show them all of that, and turn around and still go give their money to someone else, because just traditionally we've been programmed to think that way. So we can't break that thought process because we feel like, oh, that's a better product, because instead of saying, well, hey, he has the same quality, if not better.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably more suited to my body type. I'd still rather go to the store and put on an off the rack suit, which isn't going to look half as good as if I fit you for it and have it made.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Experience. Because what I sell is an experience. This is not just you just putting on one of my suits.
Right.
You're getting an experience. We take you out of that mundane mindset. We're gonna put you into a nice suit. And I tell you, just give me a text when you get your first compliment. Give me a text when you get your first compliment.
Right.
This is an experience. This ain't just like you said, D&K or something out of Macy's. No, you can't get this there.
Right.
And even if you look at Macy's and some of your big box stores now, what are they trying to do? They're trying to gravitate to the bespoke world.
Right.
Yeah.
They're trying right now because they know that a lot of men want their suits tailored to fit them.
Right.
I tell people, you go into one of these big box stores, you spend $300 for a suit. By the time you finish paying for alterations, you've already paid for one of my suits almost.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There you go.
That's a great.
That's so true.
So with that being said, share with us what you offer, each of you, with your respective lines right now. Currently, if someone was looking for a particular item, what do you sell?
Okay,
Michael?
I do everything from eyewear to footwear. My frames are made out of buffalo horn. I import those in from China. Bespoke. You can create them design them any way you want. My shoes are custom made in Madrid, Spain. Or you can send me a photo of the shoe and I can send it to my cobbler in Korea and have that shoe made for you. My socks are made in Istanbul, Turkey, out of bamboo yarn. Antifungal, soft to your skin. My suits are made in Korea. My shirts are made in Korea. My tuxedos are made in Korea. My accessories are made in Istanbul, Turkey. So what I'm bringing to you globally. Everything that you need in one particular place to suit all your needs.
I love it. I love it.
Brother, I salute you. I'm definitely looking for a good shoemaker. But I get my suits from Turkey, my shirts and everything from Turkey. I also get my wristwear from Turkey as well. But I haven't found a good shoemaker because I want to bring some shoes to the table. But I'm strictly online. Like, yeah, my base is strictly from online. Trying to build my brand just like one of the big Fashion Novas or something, just from having the online sales. So that's probably where we have a little difference in, because you have a brick and mortar.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Online.
Because once you start incorporating brick and mortar, you got to pass that expense off to somebody.
Right. So the cost can go up.
So the cost of that suit is going to be inflated. Then you got to pay the taxes. You got to pay the utilities. You got to pay the rent. You got to pay all these different things. But me, the business owner, I can't assume that bill. I got to pass it off to the consumer.
Right.
Then on top of that, similar to you, Vincent, I don't incur a debt until a person makes a purchase. So I'm not carrying $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 in inventory that I'm sitting here sweating. I gotta sell this item. So I'm begging people. I'm knocking on doors, cold calling people to try to buy something from me. So I looked at Amazon. I looked at Airbnb. I looked at these companies. What's the other? Uber and Lyft. They don't have any products. They don't have any products. They're selling somebody else's product. So what I'm doing, I took what they were doing and I incorporated it into my business.
And I think the biggest thing that we do is marketing. That we have, if we can get a good marketing scheme going, then we can draw attention to our brand, and then things will fly off the rack. So I think spending a decent buck for marketing is probably going to be my next. That's the next thing I'm shooting for, to get the name out, get the brand out.
Or better yet, Vincent, why can't I get Roy Jones Jr. to wear one of my suits? Why can't I get Emmitt Smith to wear one of my suits? Why can't I get Derrick Brooks to wear one of my suits? Why can't I get Reggie Evans to wear one of my suits? These are all of my hometown boys that are doing big things in the professional world.
I think you can, though. I think you can.
I think I can, but the problem is a lot of these individuals have been oversaturated for people trying to use them, so now their defenses are up.
Right.
They are. But I think, and this is how I'm thinking. Let's just say Trae Young. He's an Atlanta Hawks player here in Atlanta. I'm trying to get somebody that knows his measurements. Make one of my suits and just send it to him. And a great presentation. Look at no charge. I just want you to wear it. You know what I mean? Could you put it on one time? Wear it to a game. Take a picture with it.
Right.
And then we can build up some inquiries. Who's that? Who made that suit? Where did he get that from? He was clean. The color was nice.
Tag you in social media. Tag you. When one famous person tags you in social media, your career is gone.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And who knows? Someone could be watching this broadcast today, tomorrow, next month, next year, and hear about your respective businesses and reach out to you. So with that being said, I want you guys to share with them where they can find you, how they can find you.
I'm social media is where I lay my hat. I have my own group that I created for men, that's now solely for men, called Gentleman vs. Swag LLC. There's currently about 28,000 people in there. From there, I have other social media platforms on Facebook: Michael Snell Bespoke, Michael Snell Bespoke Pensacola, Michael Snell Bespoke Atlanta, and then of course I have some other subsidiary pages underneath those as well. Phone number 201-449-1911. My email is up there as well. My website is up there as well. If you need to contact somebody, one of the things that I am still trying to do, I had some consultants around the United States for a while there, but the sales that they were doing wasn't consistent. I was giving them a straight across the board 20% commission, which is unheard of, right, Vincent? 10% commission, 20% commission is unheard of. But people got to be hungry and grinding me enough to get out there and hustle to make it. But I don't have the kind of money to sit there and give you money on a draw and as well as pay you commission. So that's where people can find me. If you need to get in contact with somebody, I still have people that kind of represent me around the United States, that I can tap into in your particular area possibly. If not, if it's somebody that's out here in California that wants something in Atlanta, I will hook them up with Vincent. I said earlier, I'm not chasing the dollar. I'm chasing the person. I'm chasing the vision. I'm chasing the purpose behind what it is I'm trying to do. That's how you can find me.
Vincent,
It's Uber and it's Lyft, and they both do the same thing. You know what I mean? So I always say that there's enough money out here for all of us. I definitely need to link with you though, because you got a lot of good ideas that I want to pick your brain about. You can reach me at the David Earl Collection on Instagram, David Earl Collection on Facebook, and through there we have our website set up. So feel free to stop by, browse by, see what we got going on.
And Vincent, tell us a little bit more. Suits, shoes. Okay, I heard you say armbands.
We're doing bespoke suits. We're doing tuxedos. If you're just going out on a date with your woman, I got you. I got an outfit if you're going to an all white affair, hit us up and we can get you straight. And when I tell you, I think a lot of our stuff is unlike anything that you've ever seen. We do traditional if that's what you want to do, but if you want to stand out, stop by and check us out. We got you.
I love it. Arthur, what you got to say?
Hey, I'm over here
speaking to your taste.
I'm over here searching Facebook and Instagram as they calling them out. But it's definitely a rarity that we see someone who looks like us and talk like us, or see someone like us who can speak articulately and convey what they have going on without, because a lot of times just based on the neighborhood, we dumb a lot of stuff down unnecessarily, and that's not what we need to do. These guys are in the industry. There's no reason why either one of you can't be juggernauts, why I can't go into a Macy's and say, man, that look like Mike, that look like Vincent. There's absolutely no reason why we cannot. But instead of pouring all of that money and paying for the brick and mortar and paying for the inflated prices and everything else that they deal with, because whether it's a lawsuit, whether it's commercials, whether it's the catalogs they mail out, that cost is being passed on to the consumer some kind of way. So I think the key point that both of you said was that I'm online right now. You don't have to worry about the brick and mortar for me, and the fact that you're catering to the person, you're not chasing that dollar. Because we chase the dollar, you'll end up with all kinds of things, and you'll find yourself compromising yourself unnecessarily, all because it's about making that dollar. So I think those were phenomenal points.
Well, I'd like to add to this conversation as we prepare to close. Someone said earlier about a great marketing plan. I think that is key. I think whomever the marketing plan is, maybe study and research and interview them to see who's out there that you can actually utilize for that particular part of your business. That will include a commercial. My nephew is an author, and this weekend he's filming a commercial for his business that he's asked me to be a part of. And I thought that's a great idea. Create a commercial with some people talking about your attire or wearing it or something. Someone said earlier, I think it was Michael, dress up for a date. Maybe the commercial can be a dating commercial,
Right.
So my mind is always thinking. And so you guys have shared so many great nuggets, and I'm glad that you're connected to each other. But as we prepare to close, I want you to share any closing words or wisdom or comments about your business, because I want to give you guys kudos for what you do and have done and will continue to do, not only with your businesses, but with your purpose, which goes beyond the business.
Okay, great. I'd like to end with this right here. Check me out on Amazon. I have 3 books on Amazon that self-published. Dress your way to success, the power of your look, and the importance of your look. Those are the foundations that any man needs. Is just that's struggling with not knowing how to put things together, what color goes with whatever. Another thing I'll leave you with: have a budget. If you come to me and you don't have a budget, I'm not going to engage in conversation with you. I'm sorry, because financial literacy is important to me. So if you're coming to me and I don't want to take your rent money for a suit. I want to sleep well at night. I want to go to heaven knowing that I'm not, contributing to the demise of the country that we're currently living in. It's all about money. So a lot of times when I'm having a conversation with somebody, I'm asking them, what is your annual, your monthly, or your quarterly clothing budget? If you don't have that, disengage, cease communication with me. I'm sorry, because you're not prepared to go out there and spend the money. You're spending money foolishly, and you're not taking care of your responsibilities. And I'll leave you with that.
That's deep, and I love it. I love it.
Like I said, humble beginning. We also give back to young men that are incarcerated. I think you alluded to it earlier. We any guys that are in bad situations. I'm friends with Captain Pax over down here in Henry County Jail, and he'll let us know that, hey, we got a guy over here. He don't have a suit. And then I'll go and look and see what we got. We'll try to see if we can find something that fit them, and we'll get them straight. So far, we've given three suits. So we're working on trying to build that up, so that we can help out different other locations and get them straight. But we're definitely looking forward to. It's not about profit, but we're trying to prophetically talk to someone and see if we can help them out.
Yes. And I know at the end of the day, we all get into business to make money, but I love the fact that you all have a purpose beyond the dollar as well. And that means a lot. That tells me a lot about who you are as a man. And that speaks volumes, that you care beyond what I can make, but what I want to leave and deposit in the legacy that you are carrying out.
And Shenita, I'll ask the question to your artists. All of those big brands that they're dropping that money into, what are they doing for your community?
That's it.
Where's that money going? That money is going from your pocket right overseas.
Right.
Let me say this: when I had my nonprofit, I went directly to people that I did business with and asked for support in return. And I expected them to support me. Expected them to support me because I am supporting your purpose. Right. So I think it should be a win-win. So yes, I appreciate the fact that you guys are giving back. Author, you have anything you want to close with before we?
Hey, I'm just happy to be in the know, happy to be on the show. We have our show on Status Network. We're the Real Talk Show with Kimberly Anise and King Arthur. Due to COVID and all of this crazy stuff, we've kind of been on a hiatus. Kim's been working on her PhD. I just finished up my MBA. So it's kind of some self-fulfillment, if you will, just so we know, like, okay, yeah, I still can do that. But I absolutely love what the both of you are doing. Keep pushing, keep driving. And hey, we got to put the word out because a lot of us don't know. So anyone who's watching, share, like, do all of that to this show. Send it to friends of yours, even if there are men who you do not know to dress up. That doesn't mean don't automatically tune them out and say, hey, this isn't for them. All of us have this inside that we just want to dress up, whether church or just for no reason. In closing, I have one of my mail carriers. Actually, she's the National Association of Letter Carrier president for the state of Alabama. She said her dad would wear a suit every day. She had no idea he worked at like a foundry. She had no idea that even if it was an off day, he would just dress up and go sit on the front porch. But she never saw him in a pair of jeans. And I'm like, wow, that would be amazing to see. That's like a great role model to look to. So don't just assume based on where they work or anything like that, or how you normally see them dressed, that this isn't for them. You would be amazed how that can transform someone's mind just by associating them with the right person.
Yes.
Let's eradicate the disease called sagging. Let's eradicate the disease called sagging.
Yes, I'll have to agree with you on that.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So I just want to thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your knowledge, your gift, your talents with the audience, your brand, just who you are. Thank you for representing all three of you. You know, Arthur doesn't have a clothing line, but he certainly, you know, wears it well, regardless to whether it's casual or dress. And so I appreciate what you all bring to the table. And it's an honor to spend this hour with the three of you amazing men. So thank you. Much success to you all today and in the future. And thank you, audience, for watching. And if you gentlemen will hold on just a moment for me. And you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you for watching, and tune in next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.